Hey, this is Ray Parker Jr., and y'all listening to the sounds of We Love Rare Grooves. Hey, this is Ray.
Yes, indeed. We coming in with another groove, smooth sounds here on Monday night on We Love Rare Grooves. That's right. Welcome our listening audience all over the globe for joining us for another edition of We Love Rare Grooves. I'm your host, C. Mose, where we bring you the magic of the music and the music of the magic every Monday night here on the UBN Radio Network. Tune in, Channel 1. We're here in the studios of Hollywood, California, in the Sunset Gower Studios here, and I'm happy to be here to share this music with you. But I can't do this show every Monday night without my great cast and crew.
Q, all right.
As we do here on We Love Rare Grooves, and we always start off with the world famous DJ DeVoe. What you say, my good man?
L'chaim.
Is that the word of the day?
It's the word of the day.
All right, we'll get the meaning at the end of the show, right?
Yeah, that's it.
We will be discussing that. So how you been doing, man? How was your weekend?
It was good, brother. It was good.
Man, the weekends go so quick because we back here on Monday nights doing it all over.
Yeah, as we should.
Man, we getting great love from the audience around the globe, man. You know.
Yeah.
So we
it's a beautiful thing.
Appreciate them. And then we also have the world classiest guy over there, DJ Raj. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, my good man.
Yes,
Things
sir.
are good?
Excellent. Fantastic.
Man, thank you all, man, for just continuing to support it, man. And you guys are really making the show go. So some good things will be happening to us in the future. So I really appreciate you all there. And and we also got my main man over here, the producer extraordinaire, Mr. Greg New York Sneed. How you feel?
Feeling groovy.
Feeling groovy. New York's in the house. Brooklyn's in the house. Y'all send me a sympathy card for my New York Giants.
Poor Beckham.
Look, we need the Steelers need one after this past weekend.
No, we're not. We don't have one foot in the grave like the Giants do.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, they need a big push.
Winless.
but we feel that way. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Tom will get ride the ship like we do every year. We ride it here on We Love Rare Grooves. We like grooving through the studios tonight, you know? Man, I love the guests we got tonight, boy. I tell you.
Another beautiful one. Beautiful.
I know, man. Hailing from the same areas, but we're going to get to it in a minute. But before we do that, man, don't we got something special, Tony, for our beautiful and talented co-host and extraordinary beauty. Hey, happy birthday. Early happy birthday to Shantini. How are you, my dear? Happy early birthday to you.
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. We got some champagne here on the side somewhere for you.
I'm sure you guys will drink the champagne in my honor.
Right.
You drank it too.
Now that you're legal, 21, right?
Yeah,
drank it
all
again.
over again.
You mean you wasn't legal when you got Big Love? All this Big Love is not legal? We all going to jail?
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'll be 21 over again.
How's everything going in your world there?
Everything's wonderful. I'm very blessed to see another year.
All right, we're starting the party off tonight. We're going to the Motown party, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
I don't know what that is.
Motown Mondays.
Motown.
Oh, yeah.
Monday. Yeah.
They still have those?
Mm-hmm. Still got it.
Somewhere. We'll find it. Here on We Love Rare Grooves here.
We'll look for it.
You been in radio, TV. Join us tonight, man, because we got a great guest in. But before we do that, we want to give some love to our sponsors, as we do every week. Joining us, Beverly Boys Video Production. Beverly Boys, where you get the best in video productions. Cal Beverly and the gang. And also Wings Limousine, where you
Ride like a star.
All right, without further ado, it's time to get the show started. It's time to get it underway, because we're going to welcome here in the Groove Studios tonight a soul songstress, singer, vocalist, producer, actress, hailing from Detroit, of all places. Detroit, D-House.
The D.
You know, and they all in the D begin they singing in the Baptist church. She got her first taste when she was about 13. She was opening up for, y'all ready?
Yes.
The Temptations. Four Tops. All other Detroit people.
All of them.
And the Four Tops, all of them. She's traveled around the world, the U.S., Europe, I mean, alongside some of the greatest, man, from Natalie Cole again, Aretha Franklin. And she had her first major hit, a duet with my boy, Michael Henderson.
That's your boy?
Yeah,
that's your boy?
Now. That's my boy now.
Boy
Me and
now?
Mike, that's
Y'all
my
done
boy
became
now.
friends
We
now?
all, because we all looking at the spaceship and everything.
You seeing the stars? You
I'm
seeing
seeing
the
the stars too, right?
Yeah.
That's my boy.
At Belle Isle?
That's right. There you go.
Come on now.
Hey,
If you don't talk to them, they won't come.
They just move.
Right. They
Don't
just
move.
hold up. Can I
and they
continue?
move, you know.
Can I continue here? Thank you very much. Also, she took the stage and traveling around the world singing with the Crusaders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That was a crusade.
Yes. And during that time, she even had her release of her albums over the years, and also started her own label.
Hey.
So she's like, I'm gonna get my music out with my own labels, because she's had
Do it all by myself.
she's had music charted up to number 9 on the Hot Pop singles and number 5 on the Hot R&B singles.
Okay.
So, and then in 2016, she was nominated and inducted into the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame, but she'll give us some more information.
Hey,
Congratulations.
Right.
What you said, we got royalty in the house?
We got royalty in the house.
But without further ado, it's time to introduce the beautiful, the talented Miss Rena Scott. What's going on there? Welcome to We Love Rare Grooves.
Hey, oh yeah.
That's what I'm
Really
talking about.
happy to be in the house with you guys. Absolutely. I didn't know it was going to be so many men in the house.
Hey. Oh, you can ready to get on this Big Love train too?
Come on.
Well, I don't know yet. We'll have to see.
How you doing, Miss Scott?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
You are.
As you should.
And I had the pleasure of meeting you, as we were just talking about, Mr. Henderson, for the first time, and you tore it up. You hear me?
Oh, yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised. I hadn't known your history before then. I mean, I heard the song over the years, but I didn't know your history. And after peeling back the onion on Miss Scott, it is smelling beautiful. I mean, you had a great career. And we're glad to share this tonight with our listening audience all over the globe. So it's all about you tonight. You know about the show, what we do, how we do it. So it's all about you. We putting it away in the history for you tonight. So tell your story just the way you want want to tell it.
I love it. I love it. And it's a long one, too, because I've been in the business for over 40 years.
Right.
I started singing when I was 12 years old, like you said, in a Baptist church choir. It just kind of happened one Sunday. You know, I joined on my own. My cousins were singing in the choir, and just decided that that's what I wanted to do, join the church. My mom didn't even know, was going to my aunt's church with my cousins, and all of a sudden, one Sunday evening, we'd stay in church morning, noon, and night. We'd go get some Kentucky Fried Chicken in between services, hang out downstairs in the basement, and there was a piano down there, and the music director was playing a song that this girl could really sing in the choir. I mean, like, the best singer in the choir. And I just started singing a little bit of it, and everybody stopped doing what they were doing and said, "You can sing." And I was like, "I can't. I didn't know I could sing." And they put me up there that evening to sing that song, and the church went in. They started running up and down the aisles, knocking down benches and chairs, and I went, "This is way bigger than me.
Right.
This is way bigger than me." And that was the beginning of it. 13 put me in a contest. WCHB, one of the first black stations out of Detroit, Michigan, to hold an annual talent show every year at the Fox Theater, where they had the Motown Review every year. So that was my first endeavor outside of church, 13 years old. I entered the contest. I was one out of 5,000 who was in it, and the second youngest. And that was the beginning, and so after that, they started paying me. When they paid me $25 to open up for one of those acts, I was like, "Ooh, do you mean they gonna pay me to sing?" I couldn't believe it, you know. So at 13 and 14, like you said, I was opening up for the Originals, the Four Tops, the Temptations, the Undisputed Truth.
What? What part of Detroit were you from, and what high school? Well, let me just
say this: I was born in Hamtramck, which is a little Polish. Black town outside of Detroit, small town.
Large Polish community.
Yes, very much. Well, the Arabs are there now. They've kind of taken over. But at that time, it was Polish and black folks who lived amongst each other and got along very well.
Nice.
Okay, and I was born in Hamtramck. Then I went to school up until junior high, and had to leave. My mom moved on the west side of Detroit, bought a house. And but she didn't want me to go to Detroit school, so she put me in another suburb high school, Highland Park High School. And that's another suburb right outside of Detroit, just right on the line. But I was living in Detroit, and singing in every club in and around Detroit.
But you weren't 18 and you were singing in the clubs underage?
Well, see, my mom went and became my legal guardian. Just her being my mother was not enough. She had to be my legal guardian in order to stay there with me. And she became a nurse as well, so she was double dutying, you know. And that's, but I was around grown folks a whole lot.
And that was a very common thing back then. Everybody in Detroit sang in the clubs underage. I mean, you couldn't drink, but you got in the club and you got out.
Yeah.
That means people were hollering at you.
Of course.
Trying to pick you up.
But my mother was known far and wide. Every time they saw me somewhere, where's your mom? They know my mom did not play.
So who did you have a crush on? Like somebody from the Originals, or?
I don't know, because they were a lot older than me. Who did I have a crush on? I'll tell you what.
Is this a segue? Can we segue into this crush? We got something. We're gonna surprise you on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you talk about your crush. But
you had a guest on last week.
Did you watch the show last week?
I didn't, but I knew who it was.
Who was on the show last week?
Billy Griffin.
Was Billy Griffin on the show? This is what Billy Griffin had to say. And this is how we're gonna segue. Did you have that for us, or do we have to come back?
There it is, right there. There it is. Yeah.
So, before you say who did you have a crush on, we just want to know.
Well, see, you weren't supposed to ask me. My husband sitting in the corner. This happened way long.
They have no respect for husbands in the corner.
Hold up.
Time ago.
That was BC, before Curtis.
Right.
Yeah, it truly was.
Long time ago.
Truly, because I didn't come to California until 1982.
And we're talking about, go ahead and hit it. We're talking about 70.
Well, I do have to say I did have
lovely
a crush on Bill.
and talented Rena Scott.
I'm sitting here waiting. We all sitting here waiting like who?
Rena, ask Rena about when she and I went out on a date.
Oh,
You ain't got no
What
problem.
year?
In the Riviera.
What year?
Rena rode in the Riviera.
With the lion. We gonna ask her about the lion. We gonna ask her about the lion's head.
Rena in the
Riviera.
Riviera.
Got a song,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she got.
Do you remember what year that was you went out with her?
1973.
Oh,
Write that down. Write that note down.
I'm gonna remember the lion. I'm gonna ask her about the lion's head.
And y'all know
She
how.
wanted me to take her to a high school prom, but I said I was just dealing around in that time, and I didn't want to, I said, Rena, that's for somebody your boyfriend.
Right.
Around that time was
Right,
just
and
too
you know.
wild.
Strumming his pain on his finger.
Yeah.
And I met Billy on a TV show. We're doing, I think, ABC or CBS in Detroit, and the Miracles were on there. Billy had just gotten in the group, I do believe, and
The rest is history.
down that on that end, and I was down on this end, and we were like, "How you doing?"
We got one. Hey, everybody got three sides. His side, her side.
I thought that
And
would
the
be a
truth.
little fun.
Oh, I didn't know he mentioned that.
We pull it out of you, so I'm sure you're gonna mention something
you
before.
did that.
I'm sure we're gonna mention something else for you before the show's over with. Matter of fact, do your mom they know each other?
My mom knows of her, but my mom's a lot older than her, but she knows of her.
Is she?
I know. You know what?
My mother was born in 47. By the time I was almost born by the time she came to
But let me
LA.
just tell you a little
So
secret.
she know murder?
The same.
Anthony's a lot older than her too.
Gwen is your mom, right?
Gwen Owens, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know Gwen.
Yeah, she knows
and
you.
from
She
way
knows of
back.
you. Yeah.
And let me tell you a story how I first met Gwen. The local production company who signed me to a record deal, Uptight Productions.
Uh-huh.
Uptight.
Yeah.
Ran by some gangsters. Really, they were gangsters, but and they really weren't gangsters. But anyway, Gwen was on that label. I do believe she was doing something outside of her and her sisters. I think she was doing a solo album or solo.
Yeah, she did a bunch of solos. She did. Well, she was with Motown with Mickey Stevenson,
Right.
And then I forget who the person was that was supposed to be next, and then she was shelved. But she was with Golden World, with Mr. Wingate, and all those people.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. But our paths crossed quite a bit.
Yeah, she knows you who
And
you
she's
are.
a sweetheart. I love
Yeah.
Gwen. Please tell her I said hello.
I
It's been a
definitely
Well,
long
she listening
time.
right now.
I
If you
will.
say hello to her, she listening?
Hello, Miss Gwen. so good to see your beautiful daughter and to hang out with this crew. Missed you, girl. Been a long time.
All right. So we getting it rolling right now. So
We love Red Grooves.
yes, give us a call, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to speak to Miss Rena Scott, and the number is
323-524-2599.
and we streaming live on RM.
No, yeah, right. UBNRadioTV.com, Channel 1.
That's right, because my mind went somewhere else, didn't it?
As always.
Tony's mind was about to go somewhere
Somewhere
else.
else too, right? Oh, right. That's why I went low. Greg didn't come back, and then I went as we continue the show here on right. I went real blank, like
Just throw Craig under the bus. Yeah, no problem.
right, because I did like this because I couldn't get it. My mind couldn't get there.
Then,
Sorry, something.
Hey, but we're gonna go ahead and start it off. Like you said, you started real young, and we believe it or not, we found something.
Okay.
Can we count it
Back
off?
in the day. Yeah, go ahead and count it off as we get into the musical selection here on We Love Red Grooves with Miss Rena Scott.
as we go a little something like this.
You don't remember this? This is when you was about 15.
I was 15. My first.
I love that intro.
Can you lend me your ear? I've got a story that you've got to hear. I thought this guy was in love with me, but he took me on a trip and then forgot about me. Ooh, now look at me. I'm weeping and I'm crying and you plainly see, but I just can't forget that boy. You are just can't Since you came into this world, now you've grown into a real lady. I know it's time for you to spread your wings, but if you need anything, reach out to me. I thank God for you. I thank God. Oh, I know He will guide your way. I thank God for you. I thank God. As long as we live, this pledge of love we give to each other. Love and gratitude is what I feel for you, for everything you've done for me. No one can take your place or ever erase all of our precious memories. You show me what a woman should be. Draw me right from wrong, so I can stand on my own. Yeah, yeah. I thank God for you. I thank God. Thank God. Thank you. He will guide your way. Oh yes. I thank God for you. I thank God. Oh, as long as we live, this pledge of love we give. Ooh, you make me proud of you in so many ways, and you were there beside me every step of the way. We can truly say that no matter comes what may, nothing can separate us from the love we share. I wanna thank Him too. He will guide you every day. I thank Him. Every day. Oh, this blessed love we give. Said I wanna thank Him. Each day is better than the one before. Whatever you're doing, do it some more. Put a smile on my face when I hit the door. Make a girl feel real good. So very special. So many things you do for me unselfishly. If you could hear the moon and stars, they'd be mine. You proved your love for me in so many ways. I don't have the words to say how much you mean to me. Each day is better than the one before. Ooh, yes it is, babe. Whatever you're doing, do it some more. care all my wants and needs. You aim to please. Not a day goes by when you don't show me, babe. Being straight is better than the wonderful. Whatever you do it for more. Put a smile on my face when I hit the door. Oh, babe, you make a girl feel real good, so very special. I'm so blessed to have a love like yours, love like yours, yours and mine. Oh, thank you, baby.
Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, Rena Scott. Oh, that's a great song right there. As they used to say, I like that record. Remember that Jackie Johnson and Whammo? She's like, I like that record.
Hey,
So
So, go ahead and sing it, girl. Hit that note for me. Let me hear it one time.
do it, baby.
She don't even, she don't even need no reverb.
You have to clear her throat.
I'm with you.
It's so good, baby.
You need some backup singers? I can back it up with you.
Do it, baby.
Do it, baby. Come on, do it, baby. Rena Scott, do it here on We Love Red Grooves. We're having a good time here on We Love Red Grooves. Give us a call. Tune in as we're on all your channels, iPad. You can get on your phone. We get you Facebook Live. Tune in because we're having a good time. Ain't that right, gang? Here we
great time.
That's right. With the rhythm and blues.
What-
of Miss
what-
Rena
what?
Scott.
How you doing?
So we started the show off. We went way back in the Groove Vault. I think we got a pitchfork. What else you get, Greg, to find that one, man? How deep did you had to dig out that one? She was about 15.
Grave digging shovel.
She did. So that was your first. That was one of the first songs you ever did, right?
Well,
I just can't forget that
and
boy.
then there was a Set Me Free.
And don't
They
tell the
had
other one.
A and B sides back then, so
Right.
you know.
And I got another one we gonna pull on. That's the Dusty. We got one that's deeper than that one.
Okay.
That's what we call a Dusty of the Week.
Oh.
So let's just talk about this one right now.
Oh, okay. Well, this one was written by George McGregor, who is one of the Funk Brothers. And he plays drums, and he's a writer. He's passed away, writer and producer. And they took me in the studio. It was my first time going in the studio. You know, I, again, was only church and opening at that point. And it was very exciting to be in the studio for the first time and to be in the studio with, you know, great producers. So down the road came Baird Strong on another single, La Ti Da, This Girl's in Love. You know, Baird, he did I Heard It Through the Grapevine and wrote a lot of big hits with Norman Whitfield. And then there was another one called Set Me Free. So I had one when I was 15, a 45 single, one when I was 16, and one when I was 17. And finally found the love was when I was 17.
Wow. So you see, people wouldn't even realize that, would they? You were putting it down as a younger. We got a couple of photos. I'm sure we'll be showing them during the show. We pulled them out too. Hey, but you look just like beautiful as your daughter is. That one song we just did. Now, after that, we did what? Super Lover. That was
Right.
from your first.
Yes, my first full album. What happened is that when I had the hit record with Michael Henderson in 1978, Take Me I'm Yours, I went all over, traveled all over the United States, and we did concerts like arena crowds with Natalie Cole, Ashford and Simpson, George Benson, and the record label really got a chance to see me, and plus the record sales were great because this is the biggest record that Michael has ever had in his career. I went to number 3 on the R&B Billboard charts. But I didn't know a bunch of that because we didn't have internet back then, but I did know the response of the crowd, and we would kill them every night. We'd come out, and Ashford and Simpson would stand on the side of the stage and watch us every night. And I had just the 1.5 songs. I'd do The Closer I Get to You from behind stage. They didn't even know I was in the house. And then they heard this voice, soulful and going. Then all of a sudden they broke into dump, dump, dump. That take me up dump. And then I came out and we just wore 'em out. We wore 'em out.
Hey.
And so I got a record deal after that with Buddha Arista, same
Buddha.
record label that Michael was with.
Not Power Buddha, but Buddha Records.
Yeah. Silly.
Wow.
So everyone that's come on the show from Detroit always talks about the Detroit music scene. Can you explain to us when you were coming up what it was like?
Oh, well, I tell you what, there were clubs everywhere. Not like it is now. I mean, like there were a lot of show clubs, and it gave us as entertainers an opportunity to really, perform at all these different clubs. So the Detroit scene was almost, I guess, like Harlem back in the day, where you had all these clubs and singers. And, I always tell people, too, about Detroit. Detroit was a gumbo, if you will. My grandparents came from Macon, Georgia. There were so many other people who came from
The South.
and all over the world. Like the Polish people came, and other people came to work in the car industry. My grandfather moved everybody up here. Not up here, into Detroit, and to work in the car industry, and that was their life. So. With all those people coming from different places, you of course had talented people, and with Detroit being one of the music meccas of our time when Motown was at its height, was amazing. So it just drew people, and then we had people like Aretha Franklin and just so many other talented folks that it was the car industry and it was the music industry.
Did you ever see any spaceships at Bel Air?
No, I can't say I have.
Just thought I'd check.
Who saw a starship, a spaceship?
Mr. Henderson. It
Well,
inspired his song.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
You know that?
You didn't watch our show?
He told the
I was in
story.
rehearsal.
He told
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. You guys were in
We
rehearsal.
were rehearsal, and Michael
when-
left rehearsal
right,
to come over here, so I
right.
didn't get a chance to watch.
He was on a
Right.
date in Bel Air and he was talking to the spaceships. I've never seen a spaceship at Bel Air.
And he would summon them down. He would.
Yeah.
He'd be able to talk to them.
and they would move. And
I
he would-
need to leave.
You know what,
Yeah.
though? That is so crazy because Michael told me that once before, and I'm thinking like he's just tripping, okay? So if he told you that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because at the time
pretty-
I thought, okay, Michael
Back
might
then,
be
right,
just,
yeah, exactly, you know.
And Pretty Tony over here identified the spaceship.
Yeah.
Right.
Area
Oh.
51, baby.
Pretty Tony, no, he was
Yeah.
like, I know what you're talking about. But as we continue,
I can relate.
Silver with a glass dome on top. And,
Oh, he told you to hold his.
No.
I was like, dang, he left that part
We're gonna
out.
start
for
telling
me.
he got antennas in his natural, so he got antennas.
Help us, Jesus.
before we got a couple more minutes on this segment, but you did a song with your daughter, right?
Yes.
Your daughter, that was
Just kidding, Mike. Just kidding. Just kidding.
thank God for
You, yes. My daughter Nina Snare. She's something, I tell you, because she didn't wait on me. She was like, I was doing my thing and trying to get to a point where I could bring her in, and she went and got her own record label and record deal and producers and things, and next thing I know, she had some singles out. So, but anyway, I wanted to write this duet for she and I, and I wrote it from a mother's perspective of, your daughter, or it could be a father, or you change it around, but you know it's time for them to spread their wings and go on and do their thing, but you want them to know that if you ever need me for anything, I'm going to always be there.
but that's great.
So thank
to do,
God for
duet.
you.
Right, to do it.
Oh, it was what people love it. That's one of the favorite songs off of my Take Me Away CD.
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
a great song.
people love it because you don't find many mother and daughter duet teams out there. I
No,
mean,
yeah.
I just got inspired. Big Red just got a thought.
Oh my God.
Shantini,
A thought or a thought? Which one?
Anyway, I just got a thought.
Thought.
That's what I got.
I got a thought.
So there's a difference.
Yeah, with me, Shantini and Gwen.
We've never recorded a duet, but we sing together all the time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Big Red.
Or you're trying to do mother and daughter like duet all over the galaxy or something? Like
No,
you're
just
gonna
you two.
scoop up.
you
Just
two.
you two.
Oh,
Just you
yeah,
two.
With murder playing in the background.
Oh yeah, we gotta have murder. Can't do it without murder.
He's talking about Anthony Hawkins from Detroit. They were in a group called Murder. Him and Little Charles and
Black
Roosevelt.
Murder.
Black Murder was the name of
Murder.
it.
remember that.
So I
That's her
Was
pre-daddy.
there a guy named Tyrone in that group?
Yes, he was the drummer, but he
Well,
died.
he was the one that wrote one of those singles
Yes.
that I did called "Set Me Free."
That was him.
I
He's the
forget
drummer.
his last
But he
name,
died. He's the only one that died. I just saw all three of them in Detroit.
Yeah,
I was just
remember
there.
them. They used to play for me sometimes on different
Well,
gigs.
one of
That's
them
my
was her
Well,
pre-daddy.
Anthony is my
Murder was
mom's
the case.
ex-husband.
Ah,
Her pre-daddy.
Her
yeah,
pre-daddy.
okay. Her pre-daddy.
Boy, this
I never
Detroit-
heard that before.
Ain't nobody.
Never. Isn't that such a ridiculous
We're not
term?
taking any more
Pre-daddy.
people from Detroit after this.
Don't say that.
I'm just kidding, dear. We gonna have Detroit because y'all got the great
Be in the
music.
house.
Y'all got the great music. As we continue the show, you had Each Day Is Better, and then we're gonna go into our commercial. So you wrote that one, Each Day Is
I
Better.
did. That is also on my Take Me Away CD. It's the first single, I believe it is. I wrote that with Lloyd Tolbert, who has written for Lionel Richie, Janet Jackson,
Seen her
Tom,
last night.
everybody.
And
And he-
Rhythm Nation.
Yeah, and he's just so incredibly talented. That is such a pleasure when we go in the studio. It's like a two-person team where he does almost all the music and I do all the background vocals, and
Wow.
we triple them, and make them full. And
Right.
I do the vocal arrangements, and we get in there and we have a great time.
Now, when you were at Highland Park High School, what did your friends think about you singing in all these nightclubs and you becoming a singer? What do your peers think of that?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of them that follow me on Facebook now. It's amazing. They have a group, the Highland Park 1974. That's when I graduated from high school. But then they also have Highland Park All Alumni. And every time I post something, I go through all of them. Hamtramck Friends, Highland
Are
Park.
they watching tonight?
Do you guys have the picnics every year or whatever, like a reunions?
But they have it, in Detroit, and I can't make it every year.
Yeah, my mom, they had for Persian High School for her. They just had it for all the ones that
Yeah,
turned
but
in.
I'm back in touch. And you know what's so phenomenal? My high school teacher was very special to me, as so many of my teachers just took me under their arms and really nurtured me, because I was in 3 Baptist choirs at the same time and singing in nightclubs every weekend.
Which one gave the numbers? Which Baptist church
my
she was at gave the numbers?
What are the numbers?
Oh,
The numbers. Oh, you don't know what the numbers is? Your parents played the numbers?
Out of
Is
here.
he ridiculous?
No, I went to Elenton Baptist Church and I sang in the choir there. Then I sang at Holy Cross Baptist Church all at the same time, singing the choir there. Then I was in Donaldville.
Donald Bell is a gospel legend.
A gospel legend. He
Yes.
passed away many years ago, but he had a community choir. And then I was singing sometimes like on weekends or holidays like New Year's Eve. I'm like in my gown and my heels in the snow and ice, and I'm going from one gig to the other gig.
You were a singing sister.
I was.
you
And
guys
then I was
singing.
singing in choir, a concert and varsity choir in school. So I was like every day in something, doing something.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we're glad to have you on the show to tell the story. But we're going to continue now. We're going to take a slight break here and give a little love to our sponsors, right, gang?
That's
Beverly
right.
Boyd.
Yes, Beverly
Big-
Boyd.
My name's Dave Patterson. I'm a Seattle area videographer. I've been working with Beverly Boyd Productions for over 2 years, and I can say they are great to work with. They've always provided me with the information I need so that when I show up on set, I can shoot exactly what's necessary to tell the story the client is trying to tell. Call sheets that include the who, what, why, where, when of the video shoot, production notes, gear requirements, crew requirements, load-in time, all that. Makes my job a lot easier, and ultimately it produces the results that the client's going to be happy with. This is what a professional company like Beverly Boyd Productions does, and also it's one of the reasons why I really enjoy working with them. It's a bit of a family vibe. They're very low-key, low pressure, but they're very professional at the same time, and they get the results, and that's ultimately what matters most. I'm proud to be a shooter for Beverly Boyd Productions, and if you're looking for a company to produce your next video production, by all means, give them a call. They can handle any sort of scale project, from a single-person interview to a large production with multiple cameras and large crews. You won't be disappointed with the results. Give them a call.
As he said, give him a call.
Please.
Give him a call, 1-800-385-1243. Website is Beverly Boys Production. So give him a call.
He's got a big red carpet event coming up.
Yes. Did he call you on it?
He called me, so
He
I'll be
bring the
there
carpet?
in Tustin, California.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
look at
So
you, big time.
Right, we're getting ready to do a new
Does he bring his
commercial
own
for-
carpet? Rings on carpet. Okay, good.
Beverly Boys video. I told you they blowing up.
Hey,
Anytime
man.
he's spending money on a party, he's spending money on a party.
Okay, and he's bringing his own carpet.
The rule.
Hey,
That's his ride.
This is right.
You guys are horrible.
as we continue the show here with Miss
Mighty
Rena,
Clouds of Joy?
Yeah, exactly.
with Miss Rena Scott here on We Love Rare Grooves. Before we do this, some of your early musical influence was, of course, the incomparable Miss
Aretha Franklin, yes. She is dear to my heart and will always be dear to my heart. She and I both come from Detroit and a Baptist church. And she was always my mentor and idol growing up when I first started singing. Actually, I started singing everything she ever recorded. I was singing the blues at 14 and 15 and testifying how bad a man could treat you.
right.
You guys had something in common, huh?
But no, I was singing. And then folks, other entertainers said, baby, you know what? We love you, but there's only one Aretha. You're going to have to develop your own style, because they had just started really calling me Little Aretha, because I was doing all the little runs.
So
like
you little Riri, huh?
And so then I decided that I would start listening to other artists like Gladys Knight and Mavis Staples, Patti LaBelle.
Okay.
Even Barbara Streisand, because I wanted to be versatile.
Barbra Streisand,
Yeah,
you
and I
go,
thought she
girl.
was an incredible
she is.
singer.
She
She
is.
still is. Yeah, so I was singing, so I just kind of put it all together, and eventually I developed my own style.
Did Tom Jones used to date Barbara Streisand?
Tom Jones dated a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I just went somewhere where you looked at
Lot
like,
of
what
people.
did that have to do with this?
What's that got to do with the prices?
So did
Yeah.
anybody in your family sing? Like, where did you get your musical? Do you think your musical influence came from?
You know, I am going to write a book, because I'm just going to go way back. I'm going to go to the beginning of my mom and dad had a very violent marriage.
Ooh.
And there was a lot of domestic violence. And I was really the only one that could break them, push him away, and I'd cry. I almost had a nervous breakdown when I was 10 years old. But when I was 5 and 6 and 7 years old, they would take me to church sometimes, and I would listen to some of the church songs. And I started singing and crying in the mirror and talking to God. It was my way of trying to get it out, I guess. And lo and behold, when I turned 12, somebody discovered I could sing, and I didn't know that, because it was just my way of talking to God. Why am I going through this? I mean, I feel like I was my mother's protector. I love my dad, but, and as I talked to people, a lot of that went on back then. And then I'm very fair, so I got teased a lot in school, for a lot of things. And it's so funny. That was the beginning of me. It was from my soul, and God had given me this gift, and I didn't know it until someone else discovered it in church. And that's kind of where it all started.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we're going to share some of your musical
Oh, let me
influence.
just say, I'm an advocate against domestic violence. So I always talk about the domestic violence hotline and all, because there are resources for people now where there weren't back then. You can call, and you can be undercover. Well, I won't say undercover, the right word for it, but nobody will know. They don't. They check your computer. They got it all set up where you don't. Nobody knows you're talking to them, and they'll give you a place for you and your children to go stay. Back then, that was none of that.
Yeah.
Worst kept secret.
As we continue with the show on We Love Rare Grooves, we appreciate that. We want to go into some musical selections with some of your influences. So hopefully our audience and you will enjoy some music that we have coming up here in our next segment. DJ DeVoe, DJ Reg, you want to take us away like Calgon?
Please do.
All right. I think that one is on replay.
I'm an evil gal. Don't you bother with me. Said I'm an evil gal. Don't you bother with me. No. 'Cause I'll empty your pockets and I'll fill you with misery. Yes, I will. I've got
see no promise. And yesterday was like today. Since we stopped seeing each other, happiness just won't come my way. I sit alone and wonder why it hurt me so bad since we said goodbye. Since we said goodbye. Constantly I think about you. I close my eyes, I see your face. But love can't exist on thoughts and dreams. I need your touch, your warm embrace. I sit alone and wonder why it hurt me so bad. Oh, baby. Since we said goodbye. Since we said goodbye. Why did I ever mistreat you? Why did I ever make you cry? Why didn't I take a closer look at myself and realize I was living a lie?
If all I was black, looking at you, you might look past all the love I give. Got love to give. I've got natural gifts. Got natural gifts. Got perspective. Got perspective. Might make your shift the way you look at it. I've got love. Got love. If all I did was cry, if all that feeling got left behind, I'd worry about you. What's in your mind? I never live my life. Be wasting my time. Oh, I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. If that's how you wanna stay, how you wanna stay. I've got love. Got love. If all I was black, don't you wanna know me more than that? All the love I give,
We love Rare Grooves, and we're in the house tonight in the Groove Studios with the wonderful and talented Miss Rena Scott. What's going on, my dear? How you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Having a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you have a nickname?
No.
Riri.
They don't call you Riri?
Well, because Aretha, they did that, so I don't know.
Little Riri.
Little Riri.
Little Riri.
Little Ree.
Little
I'll take it.
Just give her one
I'll
read.
take it.
Just
Yeah,
one
just
read.
one read.
Just one read.
Are you an only child? Or do you have siblings?
I have, I had 2 sisters.
Oh.
And I was the youngest.
Did they sing too? Or no?
So we were all half sisters, but no, that's a story to that. I really don't know. Nobody, my mom can't really sing. Anybody immediately. But there's a story behind that too, because after I moved to California, I found out I was biracial. And I didn't know that.
You need to move to California to find that out?
No,
I'm kidding.
no, but the information came from Detroit, and that was after I had moved from Detroit. That's a whole nother story. So,
backstories, all these backstories.
I don't really know a lot about my biological father, except that he is white, and his ancestors come from Britain, because I did the DNA ancestry.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I've
So
been on a
British
hunt.
and-
Yeah, his family is from Britain, but I'm still looking. But that's a whole
You
nother
might
story.
be royalty. You better go over there.
I might
Get your inheritance.
And you know what's so funny? Like, one of the biggest markets I have is in the UK.
Of course.
That Northern Soul, they love
Yeah,
it.
they love it.
Oh, yeah.
And they've just embraced me a lot. But I'm going to be writing a book, because
Write
it's kind
the
of
book,
deep.
baby.
Girl.
Right, yeah,
It's
right.
kind
To
of
buy that
deep.
book.
Yeah.
Shanti,
If they ask you, right?
She made her tour over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She gonna write a book too, huh?
Who, me? Yeah, when I do some more living already.
Well, you keep working with those depends.
Yeah, the men she could depend on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right? You need a man you can depend on. Instead of a man with depends on.
Now, that was hilarious.
That is funny.
As we continue with the show here on We Love Rare Grooves.
Career highlights.
Yeah.
Check us
What
out.
was your career highlight?
I think working with Aretha at Carnegie Hall, and also
Carnegie.
Oh, wow.
Aretha
Yeah.
and Carnegie. I mean, either
Yeah.
one.
Right.
Both
Right.
By
combined.
themselves,
Right.
yeah.
That's
touring all over the United States and Europe with the Jazz Crusaders, doing big festivals with 40 and 50,000 people of every nationality and color. One song, Street Life. And
Yeah.
they were screaming and hollering, and they
Randy
knew all the
Crawford.
words. And so that had to be a major highlight of my life.
So
Were
how
you
did
singing
the?
that one?
Oh,
That
go ahead.
song?
I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
that's what I did all over the
Street Life,
world.
yeah.
One song, I
Street
come
Lights?
out and kill them.
Yeah.
Now, how did you come to Aretha and Carnegie Hall? How did that come together?
Well, of course, again from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Same like Michael, was singing in all the nightclubs. And her brother Cecil managed her. And a reverend friend of his, because you know her dad was a preacher.
The
Reverend friend
The
of
Reverend
his.
C.L. Franklin.
Yeah, CL,
The Reverend
boy.
C.L. Franklin.
Boy, you
And
get-
her
you get the
brother
good
was actually
words from
a
CL,
preacher
boy.
too. Cecil was a preacher too, but he also managed Aretha.
Which one
And
gave the number?
one of his pastor friends had a demo of me and said, he called him Doc. Hey Doc, you got to hear this young girl. This young girl, she sounds like a little Aretha. You got to hear her. And so he kind of took me under his arms and kind of started to managing me. But he was so busy with Aretha, nothing major came from it except one day she needed a background singer. Something had happened with one of her background singers. Now, if you can only imagine, you're about 18 years old and this is your idol. You know, when you're around her, you almost shake. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. And he said, would you like to perform with Aretha? She's going to L.A. First time I'd ever come to L.A. We stayed on Sunset Boulevard, got a chance to go into the studio with her. She was working with, what's his name?
H.B. Barnum?
No, this is the producer back in the day with Columbia Records. It'll come to me.
Did they give you a check for singing?
Oh, yeah, I said that was a
Got your receipt.
Columbia page.
And
I
can
just
you
wanted to make
imagine?
sure you got your receipts.
But I mean, like, to come to LA and I'm this close to her, like I am to you, and I'm singing background and watching her sing and do her thing.
That
And
was after Sparkle Jump to It album?
yeah,
Yes.
that was it's around that time.
Yeah, okay.
And that's when she had lost all that weight. I guess she was about 125 pounds. She was gorgeous, and so we came to New York. My first time in New York. Can you imagine with your idol and doing Carnegie
18
Hall,
in New
H.B.
York.
Barnum conducting?
Oh, okay.
With full orchestra. We're in gowns, and then she lived in a brownstone. I'm sorry, with first time I'd ever been in anybody's house with elevators. She had an elevator that stopped at every floor in her house, and her bedroom was on one floor, and some of her kids were on another floor. I was dumbfounded. I just couldn't believe it because we rehearsed over her house. But then when we came to L.A., she took me to her house. She stayed in Encino, and she cooked for us. And I saw this fabulous house with this swimming pool and sunken living. I was like, dang, I'm just like right here with her. I just can't get any better. So just a phenomenal time in my life.
Now, can Aretha cook?
She can't get that.
That's what
Remember, Michael Henderson didn't get to try the food, but remember she was cooking upstairs?
Right. Yeah.
But he didn't get a chance. She didn't feed them, though.
Get down.
That she.
Yeah, they didn't get no food.
Yes, indeed.
Remember Friday? It's like, oh, this ain't for you.
Yeah, she said, this is not for you. This is for me. Oh, my God. Aretha.
But yeah, so that was just a big highlight of my career.
Wow.
You hear that in the background?
What?
Listen to that song. Yeah.
I wrote this song with Skip Scarborough when I first got to California around 1982. And that was the time. Oh, no, I guess it was after that because, no, I wrote it with him. I wrote about 3 or 4 songs with him, and then I got to tour with Crusaders. And Wilton was looking for a song. Wilton Felder was looking for a song for his new album. Was it Fire?
Yep, Gentle Fire.
Gentle Fire. And he loved this song. But what happened, we went in the studio, and I sang the actual words. The song is called Drifting on a Dream. And they took that, and he did the melodies. So they cut my vocals out totally. I was But, I mean, he recorded the song with my melody on it, and
You got to write his credit, right?
Did you get your receipt?
and I got my credit, and I got a check.
Yeah, you got a receipt. You got
we
your
like the
receipt.
receipts.
Yeah.
Now, is that how you got on with the Crusaders?
No. Actually, when I first got to California, of course, like there were so many musicians and singers out here way before I was, because again, I left Detroit. I got a gig in Las Vegas. I wanted to get on the West Coast to try to get a record deal because I knew I had gone as far as I could go in Detroit. And it was time for me to either come to L.A. or go to New York and try to get some things going on. And lost my train of
Las
thought.
Vegas.
Yes, Las Vegas. So I got a gig in Las Vegas. And I played Caesar's Palace. I was there for about 3 months. Caesar's was off the chain, though. It was the biggest and the best casino. At that time, there was no... they got tons and tons of other... Yeah, but it's still hot on the Strip. But that was wonderful. And I made some connections in California. And that's when I met Skip. And then I also met a phenomenal attorney, Martin Cohen, bless his soul. He's no longer here. But Byron Miller, the bass player for Luther, Byron's got his own stuff out now, but Byron's played with everybody and he played with George Duke. Well, this attorney represented George Duke and the Crusaders. And Byron turned me on to this attorney, and I started writing. And being that he represented the Jazz Crusaders, I'm talking about Joe Sample, Wilton Felder, Stix Hooper. Got an audition with them, and I got the gig.
There you go.
And that was a prayer answered. I always wanted to go to Europe. Always, dream. Most musicians dream of going to Europe. Got the gig and went all over the world, the United States, and I even met Dizzy Gillespie, and he just kind of befriended me and told me about the history of a lot of the black musicians when they first got over to Europe compared to now. Oh, then, of course, that was a while ago, but that was how I got the gig with them.
Favorite city or country over there?
I must say, we did the Montrose Jazz Festival in Switzerland.
I know that was. I love
my gosh! Anybody and everybody has done the Montrose Jazz Festival. That was just incredible. And Switzerland was so beautiful.
It is. I love it.
But we went to Nice, France too.
That's my spot.
Right on the Riviera.
Yeah, that's my spot.
Oh my gosh!
They had a jazz festival also.
Oh yeah.
Nice Jazz Festival.
And I have to say, England.
I love
because it was our last country we went to, and it was more Americanized. Because by then I really wanted a hamburger. Okay, I got one in Italy, but it wasn't quite the same. So.
Everything's a small portion.
So when you were in Vegas, were Sammy Davis Jr. and all them still there, like doing the different places?
Yeah, actually, Frank Sinatra was in the at Caesars when I was there.
You met Frank Sinatra.
And I got a chance to...
You ain't meet no Frank Sinatra. We're just...
about to lose
Get away from me, kid. You bother me.
Y'all gonna hurt me.
That was a coming to America moment.
It was awesome because by then I'd made friends with a lot of the people.
Right.
And they just slid me on through there,
there
while
go.
he was in concert. So, yeah.
And Vegas was its own, own scene, just like Detroit was its own
Absolutely.
Mecca. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's what happened with that. Then I came to, like I said, I left Las Vegas right after New Year's. Now, if you have never been in Las Vegas for New Year's Eve, you must do it.
Every year. I go every year.
Ooh, baby.
Crazy, huh?
Crazy and cold.
Caesars, being at Caesars and doing it New Year's Eve, it was just so incredible. People are just out the door partying and screaming.
In the middle of the street. Fireworks.
Everywhere.
It's a big
Yeah,
Wow.
so, yeah.
Well, as we continue here with We Love Rare Grooves with the We Love Rare Grooves stories.
Yeah.
Man, we just love giving this to our
Black
listening
stories.
audience all over the globe. As we continue the show here, we want to give some love to our sponsor here, Wings Limousine, where you
Ride like a star.
Welcome to Wings Limousine, where we get it right on the first time and create the magic in your night. The owner of Wings Limousine, Deborah Leggins, established her company of solid principles, bring service with a smile and laughter.
I drive people around from girls' night out, weddings, airport pickups, quinceañeras, you name it, that's what I do.
She has received several awards from the Better Business Bureau, from the mayor's office, as well as the governor. She escorted several celebrities to red carpet events and has served as the official transportation company of the Sparks and the Clippers. Beyond Wings' fleet of luxury cars, Wings also has special party buses to Vegas or a more intimate ride using our one-of-a-kind Mercedes Sprinter. And if your company wants to brand their name on our vehicles, we also offer wrapping. Remember just one, the name you can trust for superior service. Wings Limousine. Call now for reservations.
Just once.
Find a way to finally make it right. Make the magic last for more than just 3 nights.
Wings Limousine, give them a call at 323-299-4647. That's Wings Limousine, 323-299-4647, and wingslimousine.com. As we here in the Groove Studios with the one and only Miss Rena Scott.
Hey, no, just one Ree.
Ree. Just Ree, yeah.
Just one Ree.
Just Ree. No confusion.
Hey, we getting ready to go into some musical selections of some outstanding duets that you did. How about that? I think we can sneak one in on you. You had no idea. Go ahead, introduce this one real quick.
Now, I did this one before I did with Michael, Ronnie McNair, who now sings with the Four Tops. We recorded this song at United Sounds in Detroit. Don Davis was the producer on this. And somebody told me about 5 years ago that it was on eBay for $600.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
The 45.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know anybody heard the song, because you don't know. Internet was not around.
Right.
So you didn't know how to tap into what was really going on.
That's what we do here on We Love Rare Grooves.
But it was fun doing this.
I
Welcome back to We Love Red Grooves here in the studios of Hollywood, California on the UBN Radio Network, UBNradio.com, Channel 1. Hollywood got swingers. Hollywood got Rena Scott. That's what I'm talking about, Rena.
Hey.
You want to take a call? You got a caller in.
I'd love to.
All right. Who do we have on the line? Welcome to We Love Red Grooves. Welcome.
It's Robert. How are you today?
Hey,
Robert, the consultant.
Awesome, Robert.
I am so excited about listening to Rena Scott.
Oh.
I got two questions for you. Number one, Take Me I'm Yours is really one of the most soulful songs I've heard. I mean, among all the songs, I think it's in the top 10. So I want to ask you, what did you do in the preparation for that song to sound so sexy, to project? Give me some background about, the preparation that you had for that song to make it come out sounding so, so suggestive. I'll put it that way.
I think it was just so many years of singing in the nightclubs, and I'm very personal, and I get close to the audience, and
I seen you.
I rub a few bald heads and things sometimes in the audience. But so it's funny. As far as preparation, I was already ready, because I'd been performing so long. And Michael, when he called me, I said, of course, because I knew it would boost my career very much. And we went in the studio, and how funny it is that we were across from each other singing and kind of just feeling the vibe. And they used the first cut. They used the first one we did. And it's just who I am, because from my church background into my secular background, I've always put gospel into my soul. That's why I loved Aretha so much, because she had that gospel feeling, and I was always drawn to that. So it really wasn't a preparation. It just kind of happened, and it was a hit after that.
That's the history.
Yes, it was. And second question, I noticed that you said you recorded with Don Davis. Did you ever record with Tony Hester?
No, but I know Tony, and actually we talk on Facebook a lot. Yeah, so I think that's Tony Hester.
No.
Mm-hmm. Or is he gone? Please,
Tony gone.
He'll gone. Okay, maybe not Tony. I was thinking Tony Newton or somebody, but no, no.
Tony gone.
No, I can't remember. No, because I left Detroit in 1981, October 81. And did Vegas for 3 months, and then after that I came to L.A., and I've been here ever since 1982.
Okay. Great. Well, we really enjoy your work. I just love, like I said, I just love that whole soulful thing that I think somehow or another we're losing a little bit of it because everybody's trying to be mainstream, but you're keeping it very, very soulful. So I really enjoy you. Congratulations on you and your career.
Thank you so much, and please check out my new music. I got a lot of new music out there now. It's all on iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby.
We got it.
Well, thank you very much. Love the show, guys.
Know your soul.
Love you, Robert.
Know your soul. Get the book. Get the book.
Take care.
Robert, thank you so much for calling in. As we continue here on We Love Red Grooves, you want to take them away? You want to do Shantini in 60 seconds? You want to put her on the spot?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you if I can get some Jeopardy music. I'm gonna ask you some random questions, and you have to answer them in 60 seconds.
That's the week. After this.
Are you ready, Tony?
Man, just go ahead.
Okay.
First
job. What was your first job?
Again, the first job was singing in a nightclub, opening up for. But I have to tell you a story too, because
you only have 60 seconds.
I pumped gas in hot pants.
Hey!
Man, what y'all was that?
Your favorite song to perform?
Was that leaded or unleaded?
Diesel. It was Diesel. Your favorite song to perform?
I think I love Street Life. I love Don't Ask My Neighbors, which I recorded on my Take Me Away CD.
Name a lover gave you?
I can't. Baby.
Baby, I'm yours. Greatest piece of advice.
Wait, say that again.
Greatest piece of advice.
Stay true to yourself, your music. Keep the right people around you, and don't give up on your dreams.
I was born in 1984. What were you doing then?
Smoking weed.
Oh my God, we have 6.
I didn't say that. He said that, okay? That wasn't me. I was recording, actually.
If you could record or produce an album for a celebrity that is deceased, who would it be?
I think it probably would be Luther Vandross.
If you hadn't made a career in music, what would you have done instead?
I probably would be a songwriter or a chef or
pumping gas.
An actress, which I do.
Pumping gas and hot
It
pants?
would not be pumping gas, baby. Okay, I gave that one a real fast.
Real quick.
And that's 60 seconds. You
Thank
gotta
you so
tell
much.
that story. How did that happen?
Oh, that's crazy.
But this is in Detroit?
Yeah.
Summertime, I hope.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It
What
was,
area were you pumping gas in?
wasn't a good area.
Hot pants.
I think it was mobile, and back then you had to clean the windshields. I had to learn how to check the oil. Yeah, because you know that wasn't
over.
Yes,
that
you
wasn't
were.
self-serve back then, but we were taking tips.
Oh, full
I'm
service.
sure everybody had an
Full
oil problem.
service.
I'm sure everybody needed a
Just
car.
wipe your
Full
windshield
service.
wipes.
As
Your
we-
windshield.
A lube job.
No, hold on now.
Full
Oh, we're
service.
going too far. I didn't change the oil. Okay, I just looked at it.
Rotate the tire.
With your diesel. I think I got a
Welcome.
nail in my time.
Welcome to We Love Rare Grooves, showing you how to get groove.
But they sold a lot of gas. There was about 3 or 4 of us in those hot pants.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
I was a teenager. I was like, okay, I'll stop here for some gas.
As we continue on We Love Rare Grooves, it's about that time. It's not the fan time, but it's
It's the dusty time. It's time for the dusty. The dusty is the
Oh, is that what
record.
right, because this one.
The record is so old that when you pull it out from the basement before you put it on the turntable, you got to blow the dust off of it before you can play it. So tonight's dusty is, drum roll. It's brought to you by Sweet Events, SUITE, for your marketing and event planning. And our our Dusty of the Week is from Miss Rena Scott.
Isn't this a dusty?
It is.
Is this a Dusty?
Is it Dusty?
Is this before or after the hot pants?
This was before the hot pants.
Ooh, bring it in. What's the name of the song? Bring it in. Go ahead.
Testify.
She
I think I
testified.
was. This was the B-side, I think, of I Just Can't Forget That Boy or Set Me Free. So
That's what we do. We play the B-sides.
yeah, I was
here.
15 or
B-side.
16 on there. But this was one of my favorites because I'm a ballad
72.
queen. I love great ballads.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
Oh, babe, if you don't want me no more, testify. If you're gonna walk out the door, yeah, testify. Tell me, baby, if I'm wasting your time. Testify. Oh, tell me, baby, if I'm blowing your mind.
So this song right here, I really love this movie though. Love and Action in Chicago with Courtney Vance.
Courtney B. Vance.
Yeah,
who's also from Detroit.
And Regina King. So, man, I didn't know that was your song in that.
Yeah, actually some of my songs have been in several movies, but this particular one was with Regina King, Courtney Vance, Ed Asner, and Kathleen Turner. And it was about a black detective having some issues with the mafia. But the wonderful thing is that they used this twice in the movie. They used it actually when the story basically was that she was trying to get close to him, but he had been hurt before, and so he was rejecting her. And so let me love you, don't walk away. Don't make me pay for somebody else's mistakes. You know, baby, let me love you.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Babe. And yeah, so it was used. She just stood right there on the porch while he drove off, and they played the whole song for a minute. And she just looked at him, and they played that for another minute. I was like, hey, how you doing? and actually, this Let Me Love You is the title track of this CD, dual disc, DVD, because my record label, More Records, which I did out of necessity, because that's a whole nother story, you know, trying to get record deals and people want you to sing and sound like everybody else, or they want to take everything from you. And I'm a songwriter too, so the first monies that, you know, they always want to pull is that publishing. And, you know, it just got to be, well, you know, I don't want to sound like Beyonce, or I don't want to sound like somebody else. I want to sound like who I am. So I decided to do it myself. And we came up with this CD, and again, the lead was for it to be in this movie, and also it was the title track. And then we took 2 videos and put them on the B side, on the other side. So we had all the music on one side on CD, and the 2 of my videos on the other side on DVD. Which there was only a few major labels doing it at that time. That was Mariah Carey and Michael Jackson and Alicia Keys. There were no small independent labels doing it.
It's funny you say that, because listening to your music and looking at your beauty, you remind me of Mariah Carey before Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
in some
I've heard that before.
You've heard that before?
Well, you like her mom. You do
right.
like her
I do.
mom.
I've heard that.
Well,
yeah.
no, I mean,
but
but
I take
back
that as
then,
a real,
20, 30 years ago,
a real compliment.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my.
Oh, absolutely, because I wanted to design my own clothes. I wanted my own perfume line. I wanted all that way back in the day. And I was like, when they started coming out with all that, I'm like, what? You know,
I thought of that.
Right.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
So that was a great song. We're going to go into another song. This one was the remake. We'll put it down for a little, but you talked about it just now, your favorite. And
oh, yes. Again, was written by Skip Scarborough, the great late Skip Scarborough, who wrote so many wonderful R&B hits. The Emotions recorded this song, and they've always been one of my favorite groups as well. I mean, the tight harmonies that they had, or they have as sisters, you know. So it was just always a favorite song that I did in the nightclub. So I just said, okay, I want to do some cover songs. What am I going to do? This was one of the ones, and I'm doing all the background vocals on this too.
Wow, that's impressive. And then we're going to go into this. I like this song right here. He can write a blend this one in right here. This. Go ahead, Rena. Go ahead, Rena. Drop it down.
Friends only, they guess, they can't say really. But don't ask my neighbors. Don't ask the friends I hang around.
Here's all the mess up in here.
Don't be afraid.
Hey,
she fixed her hair.
Don't ask my neighbors.
Gotta be right.
Don't be afraid.
It's one of my favorites too.
Do you do?
2005. Yeah, I wrote this, and But now we've come to today and a label out of the Netherlands, because my two of my songs charted on Billboard. This one went and peaked at #1 on the R&B Hot Hip Hop single sales, and then crossed over to the pop charts at number 17.
In the Netherlands? Wow.
No, this is on my label.
Oh, okay.
But now, since then, 2005, this label out of the Netherlands, the Room Recordings, has picked up 2 of these songs that charted, and they've done remixes on them.
Wow.
Who arranged this?
His name is BM, and he is the owner of the Room Recordings. And he took it, and because these were like much slower, and laid back. And so we even have a deep house mix on this. And this is the Soulful Radio version. Yeah.
It's nice. Nice.
Turn it up. Let's go ahead and get into it for a minute. We love thang. We love thing right there.
A love thing, baby. It's
we
a love thing.
We love that thing.
Okay, now it's gonna be whatever you want it to be is all right with me.
Hey, we got Miss Rena Scott here in the Groove Studios. And one thing to tell us about before we end, and you got that award, tell us about in 2016. What you were
Oh my
presented
gosh, an honor of a lifetime. I was inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame alongside of Dionne Warwick, Smokey Robinson, Kathy Hughes of TV One, and so many other greats.
Wow.
Only God, because I've just been doing this. I've been in this business over 40-something years, and it was really wonderful to get that award.
It's about
I
time.
think we got a photo that says Rena
Awesome.
Award.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that the year that the Honeycombs got inducted too?
No.
Right? I know
Mm-mm.
they got inducted 1 year too, but I don't know if that was that year.
Yeah.
Wow. Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, I was sitting right behind her and sitting real close to Kathy, and I was like, "Ooh, how you doing?"
And did
we
they
got-
give you a plaque or something, or?
Oh, they got an award like mine.
Award like that?
Yeah, they got that gold record.
Oh,
That it's yeah.
That's nice.
So Shantini, you gonna give her her top 5 and
You can't
take
say
one?
Aretha, but top 5 entertainers, living or deceased, of all time.
She can say.
Can't say Aretha. Already said Aretha. She's like there already.
Let's see. I would say, of course, Luther Vandross. He was one of my favorites. Can't say it. Patti LaBelle.
Mavis.
Yeah, but there's so many. God, I just can't think of.
You got 3 more.
Mavis.
She said,
I do like Christina Aguilera. I think her vocal ability and range is just quite incomparable.
Okay.
I also like
Barbara.
Oh, I love Barbara. Oh, and Celine Dion.
Yes, love Celine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Celine Dion.
You don't like Rihanna?
He's so ridiculous.
Look,
so
did you
see her face?
You got a smile.
It was.
What did your mama used to say? You don't have nothing to say.
Don't say nothing at all.
Hey, we want to thank you
Love
so much.
Beyonce though. Girl's got fierce talent.
So you gonna come back and join us?
I would
Yeah?
love to. Please ask me back.
We want you back.
Ree.
We want you back.
Please ask me back.
Come on back, Ree.
I got some stuff ready for next year too. I'm in the studio. I'm writing a smooth jazz song with BM, the producer from The Room Records recordings. I'm also going to be doing some classics. I got an Aretha thing in the can, baby, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
So,
and where do people go to get your stuff?
Oh, please, iTunes. CD Baby has my physical CDs. If you want a physical CD, go to CD Baby, and they're real reasonable. They're under $10.
It's a Word document.
And yeah, and then Amazon.com. I'm all over the place. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
You have a website?
I do. RenaScott.net. RenaScott.
We can ready to bring it up 1 second.
Oh yeah, and that classic one. What? MySpace?
Yeah, I know, right? Are you
that
still
classic
on
one?
MySpace?
MySpace?
Classic one. The icon.
It's a Word document.
Now that's a dusty MySpace.
You don't see it? Oh, it won't fit in? Okay. Apologize for that.
Didn't fit.
He said something that didn't fit in.
Well, that's all right. She already said it.
She said it all.
So much.
Yes.
Thank you
I
so
had a
much.
great time. You must invite me back.
But before you leave,
Before you go,
I mean, I don't know if we can talk
I don't know.
R&B. We can
I know
try.
you do like Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame, but by coming on our show from DJ DeVoe, DJ Reg, the producer Greg Sneed, Shantini, and myself, and even Pretty Tony tonight, give you some love.
Pretty Tony was the call. Tony, yes.
That's for you.
Oh my God!
You are Hall of
Yes.
Fame. You are Hall of Fame. Yes.
Oh,
You have
I
to
am
put that
so
next to
honored.
our right next to your R&B Hall of Fame.
Oh, this is amazing! I had no idea. I
About
am
what?
so
Getting the Hall of
honored.
Fame? You know,
This
now
is
you're in the We Love Rare Grooves Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it.
Thank
You're
you
gonna
so
sit in
much.
my office.
For real?
Yeah.
Send us a picture.
Send us a
I'm
picture with it
definitely
next to you in
gonna
your
do that.
office and post it
Right.
on
Yeah.
social media page.
I
So
am
we're gonna be
going
looking
to do
for you.
that. You don't know how much I appreciate
the
this.
social
It's so
media
wonderful.
police will be looking for you. No, but thank you so much for
Thank
honoring our
you.
studios because it means a lot to us because we're just a little old show down the street in
Oh,
a can.
stop
you
it.
know, just a little old show. And for you to take time to come
Right
and
in the
share your
Universal
story.
Studio.
Oh, what you say? It ain't like
Big
it used
time,
to be.
baby. It's big time.
It ain't like it used to be. We could say that in our past, huh? But thank you so much, Rena. It means a lot.
Oh.
Hey, let us drop the new release when you come out. Let us be the premiere
You know what?
show to
You
do
got it.
Yeah.
We got it.
You got it.
And
I
video
think
if you have it.
Video.
Absolutely, you have it because there's a lot going. And I'm doing something too that Luther did that you're gonna love. That Mavis did to cover.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna tell you what it is, but it's
All
hard.
right, well, let's hook up with Big Red. See if we can do that.
And
Aretha thing.
that Drifting on a Dream, the
Right.
Felder, I have it with the vocals and all the Crusaders playing on it. We will
Get
be
outta
releasing
here.
it next year.
Get outta here.
I mean, they playing too.
Okay, well, we're going to do that here on We Love Rare Grooves. We want to thank our listening audience from all over the globe and continue to join us. Man, I'm so happy that I want to give a special. Hey, man, we didn't talk about Bunny Siegler. If you go on my page, Bunny Siegler passed away, man.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, out of Philly, man. If you go down,
Wow.
drop down my page, you'll see Bunny Siegler. We just want to give him our respect. Did you ever work or do anything with Bunny?
I didn't, but I had
Bunny
heard
was
of
a
him.
man.
Yeah, and
You
I know
I'd
he
play
was.
some of his music next week. We
That'd be
just heard
great.
about it just before we started. But
And Tom Petty too.
no, We Love Rare Grooves page. You go on my personal page. You showing my shoes and stuff, man.
No, we don't need to see all that.
Right,
Yeah.
I need to see all
Yeah,
that.
man.
And then I want to give a special shout out to my homegirl. She's being shy over here. She came in town. Kim, my girl from many 4 decades, keeping me going where we started all this. She listening to me in the nighttime saying, hey, we need to put this on the tape because we getting ready to make us our own Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
Is she
So-
from the Hill too?
No, she's not. She's from Pittsburgh, but not the hill part of
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
okay.
So we've known each other. We've been rolling for the last 4 days. Went to see
Kindred
Janet
musical
Jackson.
spirits, huh?
Yeah, you know it.
That's right.
Had my
She's
back.
the original Uber, right?
Original Uber, right? One of the original Ubers. $3 Kim. So as we continue here on We Love Rare Grooves, the team here, thank you so much, DJ DeVoe, DJ Red,
Yes, sir.
Greg, New York Sneed,
Schneedums.
Johnson Need,
Is what's it?
and thank our guest, Miss Rena Scott, for
Ree.
joining us here.
Hey.
Hey, you
Thank
know,
you.
we'll be back next Monday night with more musical guests, great conversation, finding some more rare grooves for you. Give us a shout out on all our social media like
Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter.
the Twitter. and anything else. Let us know what you like to hear. The music guests will be glad to have it for you here, as we do on the studios of UBN Radio TV, as we do on 3 Gang. How we do it when we leave the show? Because
we
love Rare Grooves.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we do. Oh yeah.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it, Miss Rena.
We love Rare Grooves.
All right now.
Yeah. Good
Take
night.
us away.
Good night. Love you.
Bye bye, baby. I'm coming home.
All right, we're going to take some